What's up, boys and girls? In today's video, I'll be so a lot of people have been requesting LG. A lot of people have been requesting LG OLED C3. So a good friend of mine let me borrow it. So yeah, let's get into it. He wanted me to calibrate it a lot. So I'm gonna show you guys what settings I'd use for an LG OLED C3, C4, G3, G4. Let's get into it. So, since C3 and G3 are most likely the same thing, so for input delay, input lag, I recommend Boost, but this would kind of ruin the shadows. Like, look far away, you can kind of see it. That's why if you want more graphics and all that, recommend standard, but I'm gonna keep on Boost, mainly because I play games like Fortnite and COD. And then AMD FreeSync Premium, because I'm on PlayStation, you do not want that on. I mean, it's not, nothing bad is gonna happen, but PlayStation doesn't support AMD FreeSync Premium. Fine tune dark areas, I'm gonna keep that at 0. But here's at -30. And then here's at 30. So most of the time, a lot of people would say 0 is the best. But really, anything 0 through 0 through -10 is best to me. So I'm gonna just keep it at 0. Menu color, this doesn't affect anything. So what I use, sorry, I'm kind of sick. What I use is how the style of your room looks like. So if it's kind of dark or like it kind of looks too reddish, like more chill and all that stuff, I'd go with orange. If your room is quite big, I recommend green. And if you have like a room where it's kind of optimized, all that stuff, you don't really need that much stuff into it, you use violet. I like orange the most. And then the black stabilizer. So for me, there's a big difference because I have a very, very bright room. So 20, don't keep at 20, never keep at 20. Unless your room is way too bright, you should keep it at 20. So 15, use that if you are playing like games for like FPS games. That's what I recommend. If you're playing like dark games, any games like Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, a lot of those type of games, like RPG games, I recommend anything to 7, 3 to 7. So I'm using a good 4. White stabilizer, you really see, I don't see a big difference. Yeah, there's no really that difference, so I'm gonna keep it at 10. Game contrast. So if your room is perfect, like perfect, like it's not bright at all, and it's not too dark, 85 to 75 is the recommended one. But because my room is bright, I use 100. But right now it's dark because I'm filming in the middle of the night. Black level. So the higher, the worse, because you can see how washed it looks. The lower, the worse. Look at that, it looks freaking scary. So if you guys want kind of darkish, all that stuff, I'd recommend 40 to 30. But if you want the mid, if you want it to be mid, 50 is the way. If you want higher, 60 to 70 is the best. So yeah. And then game sharpen, if you want them OLED panels to really work, I'd recommend 0, because 0 actually lets the OLED panels do its thing. But I'm gonna use 10. Actually, I'm gonna use 0 because I don't want my thing to look grainy. And I don't want it to look too realistic. Because for me, I see way too much snow. I want it to look smooth. 25, I don't really recommend 25 at all. I mean, I kind of do. I really don't. So that's why I'm gonna use 10 to 25. So I'm using a good 10. Color depth. I'm recording. So color depth. So if you want more color, just place it here. If you want more color, 100. Don't do 100. That's terrible. 100 is the worst. Not the worst, but like too oversaturated. It looks artificial. 0, only use 0 if you're in a sad part, in a part where it's kind of dark, sad. 30, if you don't really like color and all that stuff, you don't really care about the color, you don't really like how saturated it looks, 30 is the way to go. If you care about color and you don't really care about color, 40 is the way. If you care about color but don't care about it way too much, 55 is the way to go, which is the default one and most recommended for gaming. But if you care about color, like care, 70 is the way to go. 60 to 70. But if it looks too washed, set it at 0. Set it at 0. For like 10 minutes. Stare at it for 10 minutes, and set it back to whatever your default one was at, and then it look brand new. Like it would look like the colors are way better. And then dynamic tone mapping. Each gig. So when it comes to like Spider-Man Miles Morales, each gig is the way to go. Off, don't use off. You see how washed that looks? Look at the sun. I don't like that. On and each gig kind of are the same, but for on, like here we can look to the far left. So for each gig, it makes it darker. Which I don't really like. I like to see the more details. But when it comes to the sky, when it comes to the sunset, H gig is better. See, so overall I think on is better, but really though, use whatever you feel like. Most of the time on would be a better option. Most of the time each gig would be better. But for now, I think on is way better. Wide aspect ratio, keep it at the normal one, because I guarantee you there's really no difference. There's like no difference at all. Look, I'm looking great over here. Look, you don't see a difference. The screen position, keep at middle. I have more of the advanced settings now. OLED pixel brightness, 100. Keep that 100. Don't, like, if you're kind of like me and is quite weird and all that stuff, and you like more darker stuff, keep it at 65, but only recommended, I recommend 100. It's the best. Dynamic tone mapping, we already went over that. Detail or expression enhancer. So brightness, don't do that. That's not the way to go. If you're like, so only go with brightness if you're using HGig. Because you can see brightness helps a lot with HGig. But if you're using just regular dynamic, like if your dynamic tone mapping is on, like put on detail. Detail is the way to go. Peak brightness, high. All of these things are disabled, so we're gonna go. OLED eye care. We're gonna keep that off. We don't need that. Video range. Auto. Not for the color. The color gamut, I recommend dynamic the most. But if you're if you're not human, go Adobe RGB. And I recommend this if you just don't like color at all. But native and dynamic, they're the same thing. There's no difference. But I'm gonna go with native because, yeah. Native is the one it was supposed to be at. Like, native is the true colors. Auto detect just detects which one it prefers for you. But yeah, color adjustment, do not put it out high. It makes it washed, very washed. Like, here, look, so here, like, look at the surroundings of the sun. You can see that it kind of ruins it. And then over here, it adds a lot more color. And then it's just too saturated. And the clouds are not supposed to be pink. So that's why I recommend off. But if you're playing another game like Spider-Man 2018 Remastered, you can keep it on a high. White balance, I use warm 50. I'm actually used to it. I actually like it a lot. I think it's the way to go. So here's cold 50. That does not look good at all. Cold 50 here. I'm gonna set it to warm 50. That looks better. I like that more. And the sun just pops out more. So that's why I like it. These, keep them at the default, so yeah. Going into clarity, all these are disabled except for super resolution. And super resolution, you can't see a difference. Unless you look closely, you can see the shadows get kind of worse. Yeah. True motion, turn that off. For a lot of people, it's just not good. Reduce blue light, like it makes it warmer, but I don't recommend it. Because a lot of people actually only do reviews mainly for the blues, because a lot of people like the blues. This will it kind of looks pretty good, like makes it warmer, but personalized picture wizard, you can copy me. So for this, I like this one and this one the most. For this, and this. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Analyzing. So I'm going with color, but I like my regular one. So yeah. So going on to the settings over here. Advanced settings, vivid, I recommend vivid. Over here doesn't matter, just use whatever you feel like. Now going into the PlayStation 5 settings. Press on OK if this ever pops up. One sec. Sorry, my bad. Go to settings. If you really want to see a difference between warm and cold, I'll show you. So, advanced. You already see the difference. So now I'm going here. All automatic. So resolution, we're gonna use the max. Yes. That's better. RGB range full. Automatic, I don't really recommend automatic. All these automatic, if supported, dim screen after 5 minutes, so that way consumes less energy. Going back into Spider-Man. So now I'll show you some gameplay with it. This video is quite long, sorry. Sorry, I have my cable. Sorry about the character keep doing that all the time. I haven't even completed the first mission yet. So, for the visual, recommend performance ray tracing. And for, we're gonna go here. A lot of people get confused with this. So resolution mode versus performance mode. All this does is so every game except for like FPS games would offer the options performance mode or resolution mode. So if you set this to game default, that would be resolution mode. If you set this to performance mode, the graphics quality would be performance mode. The graphics preset would be performance mode. If you set it to resolution mode, it'd be resolution mode. So yeah, just in case if you guys were confused. For the subtitles, we can fix that. I like subtitles on though. The background, I'm gonna keep it off. So this looks really good, to be honest. If you want to see the most out of it, you can go to Gran Turismo. Oh, you can look at here too. Pretty good. But Gran Turismo, for me, just does the most. Pops out the most, to be honest. And I'll thank you all for watching, and bye.